House of Representatives holds public hearings on constitution review across the country. And House readies report of Security Summit for onward transmission to the President. It's a pleasure to welcome you to another edition of You and Your Reps. My name is Victor Azul. Thank you for joining us. Now, we begin by telling you that the House of Representatives public hearings on review of the 1999 Constitution has been conducted across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, with issues like creation of states, devolution of power, and autonomy, some of the issues ringing through. In the Uyo center of the South-South, Governor Udom Emmanuel appealed to the National Assembly to work towards regaining the confidence of all Nigerians by passing the pending electoral bill into law. The governor made the appeal when members of the Special Committee on Constitution Review visited him in Government House, Uyo.
The zonal public hearing for Uyo Center covers Akwa Ibom, Rivers and Cross River states. 11 broad areas of amendment of the 1999 Constitution were put forward to enable the people present their positions.
Some issues which have gone through legislative scrutiny, this committee will expect submissions on the same issues. These issues include electoral matters such as independent candidacy, diaspora voting, matters relating to time limit for filing and filling and conclusion of election petition, issues on whether the offices of the President and Vice President, Governor and Deputy Governor should continue to be a joint ticket during elections, and so on. Local government administration, such as autonomy of local government under the Constitution, uniformity in the tenure of local government, financial autonomy, and who conducts election of the local government, and so on. Judiciary, what should be the legal framework for the financial administrative independence of the judiciary, matters related to retirement age of judicial officers, and so on. Issues of fundamental human rights, gender equality, and increased women participation in politics, and so on. Immunity of President, Vice President, Governors, and Deputy Governors of states, as well as presiding officers of the National Assembly and judicial officers. Issues related to indigeneship and citizenship. Issues relating to devolution of power, such as state police, drugs and poison, prisons, stamp duties, control of natural resources and intellectual property protection, and so on. Traditional institutions and their involvement in politics and governance. States and local government creation.
Akwa Ibom State are united in the belief that true fiscal federalism and devolution of powers from the center to the federation units is the best path to a stronger and more prosperous Nigeria. We believe also that it is time for states to be able to establish state police for the paramount purpose of greater security for the people and for development. We believe that if states control their resources, there will be healthy competition which can translate into national economic growth and development.
Whether we like it or not, the center, federal government is overbloated, and there is so much power vested the center at the expense of the constituent state, so as to make our federation indeed truly a unitary state under the guise of a federal state. And that is the truth. And so one of the issues I want to see this conference deal with is the question of devolution of power. How do we deconstruct this federal system so as to bring it in tandem with its underlying principles and fundamental objectives, which is one, that no region shall suffer domination, nor shall anyone be exposed to domination. Two, that the constituent unit should be able to grow and develop at their very speed in accordance with their resource capacity. These are the fundamental objectives, what our founding fathers agreed on, and those are the two core issues that inform the choice of our federal system. And any neglect of those two fundamental issues will always lead to instability.
Representatives of Akwa Ibom and Rivers State, socio-political groups, labor unions and individuals call for devolution of power, local government and judiciary autonomy, as well as creation of more state and local governments.
Nigeria as a member of ILO since October 17, 1960, so far has ratified and domesticated through National Assembly 26 ILO conventions, including all 8 ILO fundamental conventions. This 8 includes freedom of association and protection of right to organize, Convention 1948, number 87. Right to organize and collective bargaining, Convention 1949, number 98. Forced Labor Convention 1930, number 29.
Nature. If you have visited River State recently, you will not hesitate to join us in seeking for the right to nature, just as a fundamental right. We want to have right number 11, the right to nature, the right to protecting our environment, the right to environmental sustainability and climate action, to making sure our generations are not jeopardized because of pollution in our environment, the right to protecting our future generation. That is our one first prayer.
When successful, this will be the 4th alteration to the 1999 Constitution, and the stakeholders in Oyo Center believe major fundamental issues affecting the country will be resolved in the proposed amendment.
Now, away from constitution review, the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence says suggestions articulated by stakeholders at the Summit on National Security were phenomenal, and work on the various presentations is on course for consideration and onward submission to the President. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The week-long summit organized by the House Special Committee on National Security was a platform of discourse with key stakeholders to x-ray and profile solutions to the multi-dimensional security challenge in the country. It was no surprise, therefore, that over 1,000 inputs were received. The Chairman House Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Representative Shaban Sharada, says the summit, which came on the heels of the tragic death of a chief of army staff and others in a plane crash, is in honor of their memory.
We have engaged in a vigorous exchange of ideas and implementation of the updated House legislative agenda, with a particular intention of developing solutions to the serious security challenges in Nigeria.
He reassured Nigerians that the House remains committed to the joint task of securing the nation.
In the last couple of weeks, the phrase public hearing has been one of the most deployed in Nigeria's socio-political space. But what exactly is the practice designed to achieve? Let's go find out.
We are doing the job of Nigerians, and Nigerians must be carried along on all our activities. So whenever there's a bill, after the first reading, second reading, when a bill passes first and second reading, then the members of the public and stakeholders are involved. Normally, advertisements are made that on so date there will be public hearing on so bill or so matter, depending. It is either a bill or it's an investigation, depending on that circumstance. The public, there will be an advertisement in the dailies, electronic media, and so forth. Now, to call the attention of the general public, that on so date, they are invited to come and make their own input into so bill or into so issue. Members of the public now, the gates of the National Assembly will be open. Members of the public will now come. Some will even come. Before they come, they will submit a memoranda to the committee on the subject matter at hand. Then they will be given opportunity to address the committee at the public hearing. You will be allowed to make your own, to put forward your own views, and then at the end of the hearing, such views are collated and they will form part of the report or part of that bill in the end, which will finally be transformed into law. So public hearings are conducted to collate or receive the views of members of the public and stakeholders on any subject matter or law.
The African saying that when a child washes his hands clean, he dines with the elders was recently applied when the Council of Traditional Rulers and Elders Forum of Nguenev Community honored the member representing Logo, Katsina-Ala and Ukum, known as Sankera Federal Constituency of Benue State, Richard Bande.
It was a gathering of brotherhood and friendship as the people of Sankera gathered to show support and love to the family of Richard Bande, who was honored by the Traditional Rulers and Elders Forum of Nguenev Community. The judiciary quarters in Benue State, resident of Richard Bande, was the convergence point, and the mood was that of excitement. All road leading to Zakibiam, and no doubt the turnout of sons and daughters of Nguenev community at Government Technical College Zakibiam, the reception venue, set the tone. It was a resounding welcome. The people of Nguenev believe in the achievement of Richard Bande and his representation style, which prompted the elders to honor him in grand style. His landmark achievement can also be traced back to 1986 when he was nominated as the Nolge chairman Ukom chapter, and is in recognition of his selfless service his people that attracted this occasion.
Of course, his antecedents. He's been in leadership for a very long time. You talk about the time when he was a Nolge chairman, when he became chairman of Benue Local Government Service Commission, and then going down to the National Assembly. All along he's been helping the community to very enviable heights. And so they saw it that they should encourage him so that he will do more.
The occasion was a platform to advocate the need for the people of Sankera to promote brotherliness, good values and morals, as well as encourage peaceful coexistence.
If everybody wants peace, let everybody engage in one thing or the other. No matter how little you earn, no matter how little you get, you will live.
One after the other, the people of Nguenev had something to say about Richard Bande. And even people from his political extraction were not left behind as they were on ground to identify with him.
From this reception, we as a party, PDP, we are really happy. We feel elevated. We feel that he has even created room for membership drive into the party for greater elections. He has done well, and just like the people have asked of him, like Oliver Twist, you know, he never get tired of asking for more. So he should continue with the good works, which will serve as a shining star to others, they will follow.
The traditional council and leaders are not, they are not partisan, they are political. But as it is as a result of his performance at the National Assembly that have resulted in this reception you are seeing. Already he has placed himself in a very sound foundation to launch him to 2023. And my advice for him is to continue in this regard, because he has touched almost all the segment of the Sankara Federal Constituency.
Highlight of the occasion was the presentation of Certificate of Excellence as well as decoration of the celebrant with a traditional title.
Honest and God-fearing person, and that was why, even as a first-timer, he is a vice chairman of a very strong committee.
To whom much is given, much is expected, and the celebrant reassures the people of Sankera not to disappoint them.
The best thing to do is to be with your people, develop them, and you know that education is a veritable tool for national development, economic emancipation, and national integration. So that is why I want to lay the foundation of education very, very well. Because any community, any state, any country or nation that does not have a vibrant and strong educational system is already designed to be doomed. So on that note, I want to encourage my young ones. I want to be with them. I want to urge them. I want to compliment them to be at the best. So that at the end of the day, they will synchronize the theoretical construct into practicals, and our country, our community will be a better place to live in.
While answering the press on the issue of second-term bid, he says his people will determine his fate come 2023.
Are clamoring and calling and want me to continue. I believe I will accept it in good faith, and I will double my effort. I will make sure that I even surpass the record. I will do more than what I have been doing. I will put in my best so that they will never be disappointed. I don't want them to be disappointed. If a community decides that you should be at the helms of their affairs, and with this level of support, with this level of solidarity, with this level of trust, with this level of confidence, I believe I will do my best so that they will be very, very happy, and they will beat their chest and say that they have born a son that is people-oriented, a son that is people-driven, a son that de-emphasizes self-concept, a son that is teamwork, and a son that is for the people.
And behind every successful man is a woman. The gentle and calm wife of Richard Gbande, Rose Gbande, says she's elated with the gesture of Sankera people.
I'm so impressed because it's a God work. I will not expect to see this kind of event.
Disbursement of scholarship to over 200 undergraduate climax the event.
And we pray to God that may He continue to do, may He give him the strength to continue to do the good things He has been doing to us.
Now, this week on You and Your Reps, the committee segment delves into the world of the House Committee on Treaties, Protocol and Agreements. We engaged the committee chairman, Osai Nicholas Osai. He represents the Ndokwa-Ukwane Federal Constituency of Delta State.
Treaties agreement entered by Nigeria and other countries and other bodies like corporations, other organizations, enters into agreement with any of our ministries which is representing Nigeria in all aspects. We also looked at other agreements that are internal, that have tied and has possibility of altering the status as enacted by National Assembly or the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, status in like the Appropriation Act and some other issues that can alter such issues in terms of scientific technological transfer and some other areas that alters, any of our status in our countries. We looked into it and tried to domesticate those of them that we intend to domesticate. I also intend to approve, if it requires some financial issues, make some approval because that is in line with Section 12 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But we've been able to enlighten Nigeria about all agreements duly signed by Nigeria, especially the ones from China. We'll try to treat that. At the time I engaged most of these ministries, and they appeared before the committee to look into it and find more better ways to negotiate in treaties and negotiate in terms of agreement, putting Nigeria first. I think that is the intention. And we just finished a meeting with other technical committee to a bill that was referred to us on Treaty Making Procedure Act, where the executives were represented in terms of a collaborative effort to be able to, every aspect of the government to think alike. What is the best instrument through which Nigeria can be able to negotiate, carrying the three organs of government along in a harmonious manner and putting Nigeria first. I think that's the sense of the law, and everybody was happy about it. And so we look forward to passage of that law. When you bring in other government officials, not only executive but legislature, I think they say two best eggheads are better than one. So when you bring in the eggheads from the legislature and bring the eggheads from the executives, fully represented by the Ministry of Finance and the borrowing probably ministry and the Attorney General of the federations, and bringing the legislators who have ideas on international treaties and agreements into it. I think you'll be able to strike a better deal than one particular ministry going into such negotiations. I think that's what we're trying to achieve. And in achieving that, you put Nigeria first.
Indeed, collaboration is key to making the most of Nigeria's treaties and agreements. We wish the quiet but efficient House Committee on Treaties, Protocol and Agreements all the very best in its engagements. And here ends this edition of You and Your Reps. Many thanks for watching. My name is Victor Azu. Let's do this again.